Swiss chocolate, known as Schweizer Schokolade in German, chocolate Suisse in French, and Cioccolato Svizzero in Italian, is a renowned delicacy produced in Switzerland. The country's chocolates have earned an international reputation for their exceptional quality, with numerous famous brands recognized worldwide. Switzerland is particularly celebrated for its milk chocolate, which remains the most popular type of chocolate consumed globally. In 1875, a Swiss confectioner named Daniel Peter made a groundbreaking discovery. He developed the first solid milk chocolate using condensed milk, an invention by his neighbor Henry Nessel in Vevey. While milk is a crucial ingredient, Swiss chocolate makers incorporate a wide variety of other elements besides cocoa to create their most beloved chocolate bars. Nuts, especially hazelnuts and almonds, along with dried fruits like raisins, are commonly used to enhance flavor and texture. The history of chocolate in Switzerland dates back to the 17th century when it was first processed in the country. However, during the 18th century, chocolate production was limited to only a few areas, such as Ticino. It wasn't until the early 19th century that the first mechanized chocolate factories emerged, all located in western Switzerland. Pioneering industrialists like François-Louis Cailler, Philippe Souchard, and Charles-Amédée Kohler played pivotal roles in establishing these early factories. The second half of the 19th century marked a significant turning point for Swiss chocolate as it began to gain international recognition. This expansion was closely tied to two major innovations: the invention of milk chocolate by Daniel Peter in Vevey and the development of the conching process by Rodolphe Lindt. These advancements paved the way for the establishment of most large chocolate factories in the 19th and early 20th centuries. The journey of chocolate to Switzerland began in 1528 when Hernan Kortz brought cocoa beans from North America to Europe. By the 17th century, chocolate had finally reached Swiss shores. In the 18th century, hydraulic mills were already being utilized in chocolate production, such as the Sherman Mule in Bern around 1750. However, much of the chocolate made during this period was primarily the work of Italian and French migrant artisans, who were active in Ticino, Val Blenio, and Vaud. In 1767, a chocolate company was established in Vevey, followed by another in Morges in 1788. Two more were founded in Lausanne in 1792. At this time, chocolate was primarily consumed as a beverage, and the transport of cocoa beans was slow and challenging, making the product quite expensive. While it's unclear when chocolate bars meant for direct consumption were first produced, it is known that by the end of the 18th century, chocolate was also being eaten in the form of bark or pastilles, rather than just being grated into drinks. The early 18th century saw chocolate production still largely as an artisanal craft. The chocolatiers, chocolatieri, of the Val Blenio in Ticino are a notable example of this tradition. These artisans migrated throughout Europe, establishing a network of small shops and cafes where chocolate was sold and could be enjoyed. This tradition would later influence the founding of the Cima Norma factory in the early 20th century by returning immigrants. Vevey, in the canton of Vaud, would become a major center of the Swiss chocolate industry. The first well-documented chocolate production in Switzerland is attributed to Philippe Lauck and Benjamin Rossier, who began manufacturing chocolate in 1767. 2 years later, they mechanized their production using the water-powered Clergor mill and obtained a 10-year privilegium exclusivum from the Bernese authorities. Their process involved grinding cocoa beans and blending them with molasses. The resulting hardened paste was then cut into cakes and delivered wrapped in simple paper. Laup and Rossier soon faced competition from numerous other chocolate producers in the region. By 1806, 7 chocolate manufacturers were operating in the district of Vevey alone. The 19th century brought significant advancements to the Swiss chocolate industry. In 1819, François-Louis Cailler, inspired by the Ticinese chocolatiers, founded Cailler and opened a sophisticated, water-powered chocolate factory in Vevey. This allowed him to produce solid chocolate molded into tablets, a form that would become increasingly popular. Shortly after, in 1826, Philippe Suchard opened a chocolate factory in Neuchâtel. There, he developed the Melinger, a millstone machine used to mix sugar and cocoa, which is still utilized in chocolate production today. Suchard's venture into chocolate making was partly motivated by the realization that a small tablet of chocolate sold at a pharmacy was worth 3 days' wages. Another significant player in the Swiss chocolate industry emerged when Charles-Amédée Kohler founded Chocolat Kohler in Lausanne. One of the company's main specialties was hazelnut chocolate, which they began producing in 1830. This innovation was the precursor to all combination chocolate bars and led to the creation of the Branch, which became one of the most popular candy bars on the Swiss market. The year 1875 marked a pivotal moment in chocolate history when Daniel Peter successfully combined cocoa mass, cocoa butter, and sugar with condensed milk to produce milk chocolate. This breakthrough, made possible by the invention of condensed milk by his neighbor and friend Henry Nessel, took years to perfect. In 1887, Peter finally launched the Gala Peter brand, naming his product Gala after the Greek word for milk. Another revolutionary development came in 1879 when Rodolphe Lindt from Bern invented the conching process. This technique allowed for the production of chocolate with superior aroma and melting characteristics compared to other methods used at the time. According to Lindt Company lore, this discovery may have been accidental, resulting from a mixer containing chocolate being left to run over a weekend. The resulting product had a less granular texture and greater shine than conventional chocolate, which was typically gritty when solidified due to non-ideal cocoa butter crystals. Lindt's invention made the mass production of chocolate bars more practical, eventually replacing chocolate beverages as the primary means of chocolate consumption. The success of milk chocolate, particularly Gala Peter, opened new possibilities for manufacturers. Milk not only softened the bitterness of chocolate and refined its taste, but also lowered production costs due to a lower cocoa content, with milk being an abundant resource in Switzerland. As a result, Peter's recipe spread to other nearby manufacturers like Kohler and Kohler. In 1898, Kohler opened a new factory in Brock, where milk chocolate began to be produced on a large scale. Peter also expanded, opening a larger factory in Orb in 1901 before merging with Kohler. That same year, Suchard launched the Milka brand, building on Carl Russ Suchard's development of a milk chocolate bar in 1896. The late 19th century saw further expansion of the chocolate industry with the establishment of new companies such as Frey and Tobler. By 1905, Switzerland was dominating the chocolate market, producing 15,000 tons of chocolate, with a significant portion being exported. The increasing popularity of chocolate led to extraordinary growth in world cocoa consumption. To meet these demands, cocoa production expanded, particularly in West Africa, where the Forastero variety began to be mass cultivated in the early 20th century. Although considered inferior to the Criollo variety, Forastero beans were more suitable for milk chocolate production and cheaper to produce due to higher yields. The 20th and 21st centuries have seen continued innovation in the Swiss chocolate industry. The Union Libre des Fabricants Suisses de Chocolat, founded in 1901, evolved into Chocosuisse, the umbrella association of chocolate manufacturers in Switzerland. Swiss chocolate consumption increased dramatically from about 1 kilogram to 12 kilogram per capita per annum over the course of the 20th century. More recent innovations include the development of white chocolate by Nestle in 1936 and ruby chocolate by Barry Callebaut in 2017, both Swiss-based chocolate manufacturers. These developments demonstrate Switzerland's ongoing commitment to innovation in the chocolate industry, maintaining its position as a global leader in chocolate production and consumption.